reasons your family would be in more danger. Barnes also supported defunding the police. 10,000 more criminals with fewer police to protect us. What could go wrong? Wisconsin Truth Bank is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Joe Biden on Medicare for All.
It's going to raise taxes on middle-class people.
Medicare for All would double your income taxes, ban employer-provided and union health plans, and bankrupt Medicare for seniors. Mandela Barnes still supports Bernie Sanders' socialist takeover of your health care.
Medicare for All is the easiest way to get us to universal health care.
Mandela Barnes, more liberal than Joe Biden, way too liberal for Wisconsin.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
The industry-first 2-in-1 removable agitator from Whirlpool gives you 2 ways to wash. Jeans, in. Sweaters, out. Towels, in. Comforters, out. You decide. Whirlpool.
Accurate Appliance, located at 143 State Street in downtown Medford.
Straight ahead, a local 4-H club was in jeopardy of ending. We'll take you to a county board meeting that decided its fate. Plus, Governor Evers wants to take Wisconsin's law on abortion out of the hands of lawmakers. We'll hear about his call for a statewide referendum. And local law enforcement officers are serving burgers today for a good cause. We'll have the details as your local news starts right now.
Your local news and weather from where you live. News Watch 12 at 5 starts now.
Good evening and welcome to News Watch 12 at 5. I'm Dan Hagan. On Tuesday evening, the Lincoln County Board of Supervisors met to go over a full agenda, including the 2023 budget, which they are working to balance as required by state law. The original proposed budget includes cutting UW extension funding, which goes toward the county's 4-H program, among other programs. News Watch 12's Kyle Pazorski has more.
Prior to the start of the Lincoln County Board of Supervisors meeting, Board Chairman Don Frisky told residents that an agreement has been made to amend the proposed budget to include funding for UW Extension's 4-H program.
They provided me with that information today, and we've agreed to do that.
This announcement drastically changed what residents would speak about. Instead, many voiced support for all UW funding, not just for 4-H.
I'm here to talk about the other programs that UW Extension provides.
Allie Libby, a counselor at Merrill High School, spoke in support of UW's investment in Lincoln County, which supports programs at area schools, notably the Raise Your Voice Club, a group to reduce the mental health stigma.
With cutting this program, it also needs to be accepted that rather than paying for preventative services in our community that in turn bring more money into our county than the cost of their program, we will be paying for it in the long run of reactive services.
Lincoln County UW Extension Director Art Lurch spoke on the legacy UW Extension has had in Lincoln County.
It's been over 100 years. We, UW Extension, would like to see that partnership continue for the next 100 years.
He said it's important that the board considers finding more ways to fund the extension in order to continue their century-old partnership.
UW Extension is committed to continuing our investment in Lincoln County, should Lincoln County choose to continue its investment with us.
The next county board meeting will be held on October 18th. Reporting in Merrill, Kyle Pazorski, Newswatch 12.
Meteorologist Conrad Supinski joins us now. Conrad, felt like fall today.
It definitely did, Dan. Tomorrow is actually the first day of fall, and with that, you know what it means. Colors, the leaves are changing. Colors are going to be showing left and right. Some really red, orange colors, but our peak for fall foliage is around beginning of October. So the next couple of weeks is when we'll see our peak for the fall colors. Temperatures a little bit cooler. It's making it feel like fall. Temperatures in the 50s right now for the most part. 59 in Rhinelander, a little bit warmer just south in the 60s. Green Bay coming in the big winner right now. The only one with temperatures around 70 degrees. So tomorrow, first day of fall. With that, Mother Nature's really bringing in some cooler temperatures. Some lower 50s in the UP, mid 50s in the Northwoods. Same thing just south of us, even a couple of 60s showing up there on the radar. Mostly cloudy skies right now, but a couple of sprinkles cannot be ruled out overnight. Tomorrow, though, will clear up with temperatures tonight cooling off into the lower 40s. Dan?
Governor Tony Evers wants voters to decide on abortion access in Wisconsin. Today, he signed an executive order calling for a special session to create a pathway for a referendum. State Republicans immediately rejected the idea. Wisconsin currently has an abortion ban in place because of an 1849 law. Democratic lawmakers have been calling on protections for reproduction rights, while Republican lawmakers are split between exceptions for rape and incest or no exceptions at all. Polls have repeatedly shown that a majority of Wisconsin residents support abortion rights.
The will of the people is the law of the land. Well, right now, today, and when it comes to reproductive freedom, the will of the people isn't the law of the land. But it damn well should be, folks. It really should be.
The Democratic governor had previously called a special session in June to repeal the abortion ban, but the Republican leadership gavelled in and out without discussion or debate. Evers' executive order calls for a special session on October 5th. Evers' opponent, Tim Michels, supports the abortion ban without exceptions for rape or incest. The New York Attorney General is suing Donald Trump, his children, and their company on charges of large-scale business fraud. The more than 200-page lawsuit alleges the Trump Organization inflated the values of its properties in seeking bank loans or deflated them to pay less in taxes. According to the suit, the company deceived lenders, insurers, and tax authorities by inflating the value of properties with misleading appraisals. New York's Attorney General says Trump lied over 200 times over the course of 10 years about the values of his assets.
Claiming you have money that you do not have does not amount to the art of the deal. It's the art of the steal.
The state is seeking $250 million and to permanently bar Trump and his children from serving as the director of a business registered in New York State. It also aims to cancel the Trump Organization's corporate certificate, which, if granted by a judge, could force the company to stop operating in New York. A Watoma, Wisconsin man has been arrested after receiving his 6th OWI. 44-year-old Billy Jack Houston was arrested Tuesday after a state patrol trooper stopped his blue sedan for traveling at 104 miles per hour. Upon contact with the driver, the trooper was seeing symptoms of drunkenness in the driver. Houston was then arrested for operating while under the influence for the 6th time in his life. He was also cited for speeding. Minnesota authorities are investigating a prank call that led to a school lockdown. The Mankato West High School was under lockdown around 10:30 this morning. Authorities say someone called law enforcement claiming there was an active shooter at the school. Officers searched the school and found no threat. Police believe it was a hoax, also known as swatting. 14 Minnesota schools in the area received similar hoax phone calls today. Earlier this summer, cops served up pizza at Rhinelander's Pizza Ranch, benefiting people in need. Today, police are serving burgers at Northwoods Culver's with the same mission. Here's footage from the Culver's in Minocqua today. This event serves as a fundraiser for the Police Lights of Christmas, hosted by Q90 FM. The goal of the program is to raise money to buy gift cards, which cops will then hand out during Christmas season.
What that is it's a partnership through area law enforcement and the Culver's restaurant business, where we are accepting donations that go towards gift cards that law enforcement can hand out during the holiday season to people that are in need.
People can submit donations through a donation box in the restaurants, and since lunch, many people have already made some significant donations.
We've received some over-generous donations. Once we explain to the people why we're here, what their money is going towards, we're very well received in the response we get, including donations.
The cops will be serving at Culver's throughout northern Wisconsin until 10 p.m. when the restaurants close. Rhinelander's event happened yesterday, but most others are participating today. Some rural areas experience what's called a brain drain, where highly trained or educated people move to somewhere else. Coming up, we'll talk to an expert about whether that's happening here in Wisconsin. That's after weather with Conrad right here on Newswatch 12.
At Mole Lake Casino and Lodge, you'll experience gaming like a king.
It's great to be the king.
Check out the two-person Fall Classic Golf Scramble, Friday, September 30th. Mole Lake Casino and Lodge, where everyone games like a king.
Ron Johnson's at it again, lying about my taxes. Let's be clear, my taxes are paid in full. But there were times I was getting by on peanut butter sandwiches. And that's why I support a tax cut for the middle class. Put more money in your pockets. Because I know how hard you work. But Johnson, He used his Senate seat to write a loophole that gave huge tax cuts to himself and his biggest donors, leaving us with crumbs. And that's how we get left behind. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
When I first moved here to Wausau from Madison, downtown was the very first area that I looked at, and I was shocked at the unavailability of housing opportunities that was there.
The mall as it is no longer viable. That has changed. It's changing across the country, and it's our turn to change what we have here into a new vision.
My hope is this is something that the Wausau community comes together to do what they always do, which is unite behind reinvesting in Wausau and making it a great place to live, work, and play.
I received a call that my granddaughter had been hit. She suffered a serious brain injury and nearly died. The driver should have been in jail. Mandela Barnes supports no cash bail that puts criminals like Darrell Brooks back on the streets. He's more worried about criminals than victims. Mandela Barnes doesn't have the judgment to keep our communities safe.
Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Prices are going up on groceries, they're going up at the gas station. The only ones profiting are oil companies, big corporations, China, and Ron Johnson. Johnson makes money from investments in factories in China. No wonder Johnson's net worth has doubled since he's been in Washington. Even worse, Johnson's allowed oil and drug companies to jack up prices on us. He takes all that money from them. Ron Johnson profits, we pay the price. SMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
At Mo Lake Casino and Lodge, you'll be treated like a king.
Thank you very much.
Enter the fully stocked freezer giveaway now through September 24th. Mo Lake Casino and Lodge, where everyone is treated like a king.
And welcome back. The last day of summer is today. First day of fall's tomorrow. Lots of clouds out there today, so it is feeling more like fall. I know it's the last day of summer. We want to enjoy it while it lasts, but lots of cloud cover all across the state. We do actually have some really light showers just to the north of us, so we will have a couple of sprinkles here and there really early in the overnight hours. Not a big low-pressure system, just a couple of sprinkles here and there, very light showers that will continue to move south and into our area overnight tonight, and then quickly moving out by tomorrow. So we'll see lots of clear weather, lots of sunshine actually for our first day of fall. But with that, cooler temperatures have arrived. Say goodbye to those 70s and 80s for a pretty good amount of time and enjoy those 50s and 60s, as we do have a pretty sharp cold front that just came by and is really going to continue to keep things really on the colder end, way below average temperatures. And then taking a look in the corner, we have Hurricane Fiona. That one is going to continue to stay offshore, and it will track north, so not acting like Princess Fiona this time. It's causing lots of devastation closer to Puerto Rico. And if you have any vacations down the eastern seaboard, the next several days, really be careful if you're out and about. Rip currents and waves will be on an extreme level. Here in the Northwoods, temperatures have dropped significantly from yesterday. We were close to 80 outside for our high yesterday. Today, way cooler than that. Temperatures around 20 degrees colder than what they were exactly this time around yesterday. So bring out those sweaters, because 50s and 60s have taken over the state. Just one location by Green Bay has temperatures closer to 70 degrees, but in general, everybody has some below average temperatures, and those temperatures will continue to drop. So get ready for that, because a really cooler below average temperatures trend will be sticking around with us, not only through this weekend, through the weekend, but same thing through beginning of next week. Even into middle to end of next week, temperatures will be well below our average, as our high should be around 67 degrees. So really well below average temperatures the rest of the week, and same thing into next week. We do actually have some frost advisories in the northern part of the state of Minnesota. Most of these will be coming into our states by tomorrow. Yes, Thursday morning we'll have lows in the 30s, as our 7-day outlook brought to you by Northwoods Furniture and Mattress shows. 30s are back as morning temperatures Thursday night into Friday. Then more chances of showers over the weekend, and we clear up by beginning of next week. Dan?
The lingering effects of the coronavirus pandemic had a big impact on the emergency medical services across the state. To help combat these hardships, the Wisconsin Department of Health Services has awarded $12 million in grants. EMS providers from around the state submitted applications, and through this program, the Stevens Point Fire Department was awarded $30,000 in EMS Flex Grant funds for the purchase of a rapid deploy water rescue craft. Point's assistant chief says this money will allow the department to continue to provide top-tier rescue services to those who need it most. Talk about getting more bang for your buck. Literally, the U.S. dollar went up 0.4% today, the highest it's been since 2002. The jump happened after Russia said it was calling in 300,000 military reserves, escalating the war in Ukraine. When there's extreme political tension between countries, investors tend to trust the U.S. dollar more. So even though inflation is high, the U.S. economy is faring better, the U.S. job market is solid, and other sectors, like the service sector, are doing well as well. But just as Russia's announcement pushed up the value of the dollar, it also pushed up oil prices 2.5%, all because of concerns that escalating the war could tighten up the global oil and gas supply. A new report shows progress against cancer, with more people in the U.S. surviving cancer than ever before. The American Association for Cancer Research found in the past 3 years the number of cancer survivors living in the U.S. increased by more than 1 million. As of January, there were 18 million cancer survivors in the U.S. The report notes there were only 3 million cancer survivors back in 1971. The 5-year overall cancer survival rate has increased from 49% in the mid-70s to nearly 70% in the 2010s. The report credits the progress against cancer to fewer people smoking and improvements in catching and treating cancer early. New research from Forward Analytics suggests that Wisconsin's population might drop by nearly 130,000 by 2030, which could cause problems for many industries here in the state. Dale Knapp is a researcher for the Wisconsin Counties Association and has been poring over this new data. He says historically, Wisconsin's population has been strong in the 30 to 50-year-old age group. However, recently, there has been a significant drop in that age group, which is a big chunk of workers.
We did a little bit better than we did at the youngest and the oldest age groups. But our net migration in terms of that cohort is significantly below where we've been historically.
The report highlights that without an increase in migration from other states, Wisconsin's prime working age population will continue to decline. To find the information for yourself, head over to forwardanalytics.net. The Oneida County Labor Relations and Employee Services Committee has a new budget under consideration. Newswatch 12's Matt Weaver spoke with the county's Human Resource Director about the issue and has more.
Department heads are being put on notice that any programs within their offices that aren't mandated may be looked at to be cut.
The Oneida County Labor Relations Employee Services Committee is deciding on a budget increase.
What are other people doing that we maybe can use that will help the county succeed in balancing its budget?
In their recommendation to the county, they are using the Wisconsin Employee Relations 7.17% wage increase as a benchmark.
The fact that we have looked at that number every year, that's the number we've used. In the past, it hasn't always been so positive for employees, but the committee did hear some of the comments that were made.
This year, the county already put 3.25% towards their wage increases.
But to not be able to get a decent wage increase on that wage schedule hurts us additionally because we're not paying what the market is paying, so people can go to work elsewhere and make more money.
While they want to reach the 7.17% benchmark, the committee's main concern is how much they can budget increases without hurting taxpayers.
Pay the people that we need here and that are good employees and start looking at programs and the people associated with those of things we no longer have to provide.
For now, the budget and recruitment continues to be a challenge.
I think we're at a place this year where the budget may be pushing us closer to those types of issues where the board is going to have to decide if or what services may be cut in order to meet other obligations within the budget.
A future budget hearing will cover this matter in the coming weeks. In Rhinelander, Matt Weaver, Newswatch 12.
A World War II veteran is celebrating his big day today. Coming up on Newswatch 12, we'll hear a few words of advice from this 105-year-old.
Violent crime up across Wisconsin. Families nervous about their safety. Yet Mandela Barnes called for releasing half of Wisconsin's jailed inmates. That would mean releasing over 10,000 criminals right into our neighborhoods. 10,000 reasons your family would be in more danger. Barnes also supported defunding the police. 10,000 more criminals with fewer police to protect us. What could go wrong? Wisconsin Truth Bank is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Change it up and choose Dutch Boy from Menards. Get the best quality Dutch Boy paints at the best prices. Pick out the perfect color. We offer free custom color matching and tinting to create thousands of color options. And with Dutch Boy's easy opening, smooth pouring container, and no prep, no prime formula, transforming your home has never been easier. Save 11% on all Dutch Boy paints now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
There are so many things we take for granted, and along with them, sometimes we take the people who depend on them for granted too. How can they survive with record increases in their basic cost of living? And through no fault of their own, they're being left behind. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy, water, and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
Roof warranties are all about trust. Your trust in GAF, a time-tested company, and our trust in our Master Elite contractors. They're trained, licensed, insured, and only they can offer our best warranties.
Call Oneida Roofing today.
Ever dream of a charming toy store with unique toys, games, and puzzles? A store that encourages unplugged and active play, discovery, and imagination. It's real, it's Imaginuity. Visit our beautiful new store in Minocqua soon.
And here's a fun fact. 3 out of 4 members of Congress were already professional politicians before they even got to D.C. And then they cash in and become lobbyists. That ain't me. I'm Derek Van Orden, a retired Navy SEAL with 26 years of service. And I will pass term limits and ban congressmen from ever becoming lobbyists. I'm Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message. Let's try something different. Let's change the people we send to D.C.
This portion of Newswatch 12 is brought to you by Slumberland.
2 people have come forward to claim the $1.3 billion Mega Millions jackpot won in late July. A single winning ticket was sold at this store in a Chicago suburb before the drawing on July 29th. According to the Illinois Lottery, the 2 winners have agreed to split the prize. They chose the lump sum payment of $780 million. The winners wish to remain anonymous, and the Illinois Lottery said it was unable to share any information about the winners. The jackpot was the nation's 3rd largest lottery prize. State Senator Mary Felskowski of Tomahawk is calling on high school juniors and seniors from around the 12th District to apply for the State Senate Scholar Program. The Senate Scholar Program is a program designed to challenge Wisconsin's best students. 1 student from each of the 33 Senate districts may participate in the program at the state capitol, which immerses participants in the legislative process for a week next spring. To apply, go to senatescholar.com. A World War II veteran from Arkansas celebrated his 105th birthday on Tuesday. Lloyd Gaithright is from Batesville, Arkansas. He celebrated his milestone with candles, a cake, and balloons. Gaithright joined the Army through the Arkansas National Guard. When asked for the secret to a long life, he said it's really no secret at all.
Learn to get along with people and yourself.
He says he's an Arkansas history buff, and his niece agrees. She says her Uncle Lloyd is her go-to for any questions she has about history. We'll be right back with one final look at your weather.
The industry first 2-in-1 removable agitator from Whirlpool gives you 2 ways to wash. Jeans in, sweaters out, towels in, comforters out. You decide. Whirlpool.
Accurate Appliance, located at 143 State Street in downtown Medford.
Under Governor Evers, hardworking Wisconsin families are being left behind. We're paying more for food, gas, everything. And Tony Evers tried to make us pay even more, a 20% gas tax increase, doubling the tax on home heating bills. And while Evers puts the squeeze on us, he wanted to give taxpayer-funded benefits to people who refuse to work. He even opposes drug testing welfare recipients. Tony Evers is leaving hard-working Wisconsin families behind.
Water is one of nature's most beautiful and life-sustaining resources. At no fault of their own, many Wisconsin utility customers are facing a shutoff to their water service. This leaves them without the one life-giving resource we all take for granted. And those hardest hit are on fixed incomes, juggling multiple temporary jobs, or those who lost full-time jobs in sectors hardest hit by the pandemic. If someone you care about needs a hand up, your local Wisconsin energy and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your water, heat, and power on. If you are in danger of losing your water service, call 833-H2O-WISC, 833-426-9472. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
Joe Biden on Medicare for All.
It's going to raise taxes on middle-class people.
Medicare for All would double your income taxes, ban employer-provided and union health plans, and bankrupt Medicare for seniors. Mandela Barnes still supports Bernie Sanders' socialist takeover of your health care.
Medicare for All is the easiest way to get us to universal health care.
Mandela Barnes, more liberal than Joe Biden, way too liberal for Wisconsin.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
The industry first 2-in-1 removable agitator from Whirlpool gives you 2 ways to wash. Jeans in, sweaters out, towels in, comforters out. You decide. Whirlpool.
Accurate Appliance, located at 143 State Street in downtown Medford.
This portion of News Watch 12 is brought to you by Slumberland.
Mostly cloudy skies for our last day of summer today, and a couple of sprinkles for our overnight hours. Not going to be a big rain event, mostly cloudy for the most part overnight, but if you do get into a sprinkle or two, do not be surprised. Temperatures are cooling down. Our average closer to 67. We're in the 50s and 60s across the state today. Tomorrow, even cooler temperatures, only reaching those mid-50s, but take a look at that low, hovering around 31 degrees, and then the rest of the week, temperatures in the 50s.
I feel like we just snapped our fingers. It went from summer to fall. Just
exactly.
Like that.
80 degrees yesterday, and then 30 tomorrow night.
That's
insane.
We'll have more weather.